It's time to start on the long avoided curved areas. We have 3 of them. The library, over there's the breakfast area, and the stairway. So we take a full Nudura piece of ICF, 8 foot long. These are 8 inches on center. So you go to the middle, and there is a worksheet that Nudura provides. Based on your radius, it tells you how much you have to cut out. So we're starting with the library. So if I go to the sheet, I see that we need to cut 1 5/8 inches out of each section. So it's 2 cuts per section. There's 12 sections, so it's 24 cuts per piece, and there's 4 per course. That's 48, and it's 7 high. So roughly 350 cuts for us to get this one ready. When I did the basement, it says that you could possibly need some relief cuts on the outside, so you don't cut it all the way through, but just some cuts to help bend. But I did not get into that on the breakfast area or the library because it's a pretty decent radius. The stairway, however, is a whole different animal, so we'll get into that. So let's lay it out and get started. So 13/16 on each side is what we end up with. So I might, I've got some tape measures that aren't tape measures that I might just grab to do this, but I'll just put that on the center line, and then I'll do 13/16 on each side, draw lines, and then that'll give us our cuts all the way down. Whew, there you go. Oh, like I said, you gotta do that a lot, many times. But you know, this kind of stuff is just time. I mean, that's it. It's just time consuming. It's I'm thinking something might be a little faster is, well, look at that. So yeah, I got kind of lucky. This is 1 5/8 wide, so I'll just be able to use that, which is great for this one, but the other ones are different sizes, so I'll probably cut a guide for those. So I'll come in here, make a mark, so now I can just put that right on my mark, on my line, like that, and then square this up down on this end, and there we go. We have these big trash bags left over. See, yeah, so that'll, once that bends, that'll, see, obviously that doesn't do anything right now, but once this piece is loose, it'll let those attach together. And then when we mount it on there, we can glue the back side and keep those straight. So Jeff and Tater are back. They're going to cut the remaining pieces of pre-buck that we need for the windows that go in the curved areas. We have those. Assemble that. Hey, look who I talked into coming back.
Yeah, can't keep me away.
Yep. So Josh is back. We've been cutting forms some of the day. So this is kind of what that looks like. So these are 2 layers. The next is our window placement. Rebars in. This is the nice thing about this part. Just, curve on and bend around. And bend those on the inside and screw these in so they're all spaced correctly and straight. And then we'll foam it all in place before we put the windows on, which is putting the pre-bucks in. What has to happen is we set these up here, draw a line, cut that out with the jigsaw. We'll sand this a little bit, and it makes it so that when we strap in, it doesn't pull the form straight, it lets them stay curved. So we decided to go with 3 windows in here. Originally the plan called for 5, but this is going to be a library, not an office, and like a reading room, that kind of thing. I mean, it could still be used as an office or for meetings because it is a round office, not the oval office. But I need a top tier room to have little meetings in. So anyway, so if we had put the other 2 windows in, there was going to be one here that just looked at that, and one that kind of looked at part of the side of the front porch and everything. So anyway, we're going with 3. One looks out that way, and this one's already in place. And of course the sun's already higher in the sky now, but earlier this is where in the winter the sun comes up dead center of this window, like over there. So that's kind of cool. I took these and we lay them up on the curved wall, and we cut or draw an inside what the curve is, cut that out of the back, and then add it to the front. And that way it just helps when you're screwing in the foam on the little straps. It helps it keep it not being all wonky. It's a little better. Put this window up, took a piece of our 3/8 strips we had cut, plywood. No, let it snow, let it snow. Oh, that looks safe. Yeah, run that through the saw. What you doing up there?
Putting in the final course.
The final course? Yeah. Is that like the final countdown? Anyway. There you go. So we lacked 8 inches getting to the top of where we need to be. So the guys, I'll show you, the guys have been cutting those, and we've been getting 2 pieces out of 1 form, so that's nice. So Josh is getting all those on. We've already put the vertical rebar down in the wall. It's about every 20 inches, number 5 bar. And then the stacking will be done, except for, of course, the curved areas. It's laid in like this. Now something I've got to watch out for is I didn't quite get the curve we wanted when we did it on the bottom. So I don't necessarily want it to match it 100% through there. So I took the 3/8 8-foot long strips, bent those into our radius, and attached our inside form to those so that they're straight up and down. Josh comes over, take a well-deserved break. One of the really great things about this build has been able to spend more time with him. At the time when things are crazy and I'm probably complaining or whatever, he might not think that, but I really enjoy being able to spend that time. If you've got kids, you know they grow up fast and they're off on their own things and don't get to spend as much time, so that's been nice. I'm going to put the window buck in. You've seen this a little bit on the other areas. We'll get that situated and then we're going to cut it, make that fit. This is probably an area that takes the most time for sure. Now what I'm doing is you got to build these lintels for over top of the windows and doors. So you got rebar goes in, so a lot more work over top of those so that you have strength. It's not probably as noticeable since you've got the foam stays in place. But if you were doing this as a poured wall and you didn't have the foam, this is the stuff that keeps those cracks from coming at the door corners and all that stuff. So it's very important. Good, that's good. Be alright. Come on. There we go. Really? Got these T-brackets. We're finding all kind of uses for these, like going in here and making sure our window butts are square and strengthening those up. How you doing this morning?
Doing great.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Josh is over there working on that curved wall. I'm finishing out the stairway curved wall, and then we will be working on finishing the office curved wall. So the reason we jump around is we've gotten to the level now where we need bracing. So Tater and Jeff are out there. They're gonna come in and brace that wall up. And so Josh, that one takes certain cuts because of the radius it is and how many windows we have. We're in pretty good shape, but there's always that list of little punch list stuff you're not thinking about or you've thought about but forgotten that bites you in the end that we gotta get done. So our goal is to have all of this ready by end of day tomorrow, the curved areas, so that we got 2 days to do nothing but all of us just work on punch list and making sure we're as ready as we're gonna get. Showed these some yesterday, I think, but that's how that works out to hold where these common seams are with corners, just to strengthen that even more. So those work out well. We've got to do the office is ready, except for a little bit more foaming. We've got to do our threshold because we are pouring the floor in here. It's the only floor inside the house that we're pouring because I got those stamps that I showed yesterday. Take the leaf blower and get all this out of here, but that's fine. We'll get that done. We want to pour this floor. Lots of strapping on that just because the way I did the windows and over top the windows. I didn't want to sit there and notch the foam, do all that. So that ended up a bit more strapping work, but okay, no problem. I'd rather do straps now and be good to go.
Started too fast, now you can't slow down. The runaway girl in a hurricane town, singing a song that you never really knew, and I need you to come back home. Serving drinks in New Orleans, you met a few friends and then you headed east to Seaside, where the time flies and everybody seems to have the time of their life. You had me. Don't forget where you came from. Don't forget where you came from. No matter where you go, I'll be waiting right back home. Don't forget where you came from. Don't forget where you came from. Last I heard, you went to Savannah.